speed up, it's better. And sometimes I'm scared to speed up. So speed limit 65, I'm doing 55, and this is a short one. This is a short one, that's good. And we made it, we're alive. All right, I just left Little America about 20 minutes ago, you guys. We are in Wyoming, I-80, headed eastbound, finally getting through all of the passes and the hills and the grades and all of that good stuff. So I'm looking forward to some flat land the farther east that we go. A lot of wind right now in Wyoming, so I'm just taking it easy. Got about an hour left of driving, so I am looking for somewhere to shut it down for the night. Good morning, everybody. It's already Friday. Wow. I'm already in Wyoming. I had to think about it. I'm in Wyoming, you guys. It's Friday. I got a big push today, but I'm finally out of the mountains, so that's good. And yeah, let's go over this load. Other than tarp that was too small, this piece is doing wonderfully. The tarp job is doing wonderfully as well. It's just my tarp was too small. This crate is 10 feet tall, so not creating too much of as much of a wind block as I thought it was. But this is the unicorn load. Let me back up. There we go. This is the unicorn load, you guys. I picked all three of these pieces up right off the 5, somewhere in between Eugene and Portland, wherever these three came from, right? Eugene and Portland, right off the 5. And then I proceeded to head east. This one is going to Ohio. This one is going to Indiana. And this skid steer is my first drop, and it's going to Iowa. So I'm gonna bump off the skid steer. I've already booked a Toyota Prius for $500 to pick up, but I have to call the customer. I'm not 100% sure it's gonna work out. I have to call the customer. This crate, let's back up a little bit. So it's Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, right? Kind of spread out, but all in a straight shot, pretty much all off the 80. The crate, I just happened to call the broker, and I did not stop calling the broker until he answered me. And I got the crate. The crate is 10 feet tall. It's 2,900 pounds. Again, Oregon to Ohio. It's just about 2,500 miles. 11 feet long, 2,500 miles. It's paying $5,000. It's tall, but it's light, so it's not too bad for me. And then the Subaru, thank you, Doug, for reaching out. The Subaru is Doug's $1,800 bill. It should be COD. Hopefully they have a check for me, because I'm blowing through diesel. These long trips, I don't know. We'll go over the numbers when I'm done with this long trip, you guys, but I mean, I'm already at like 20 grand, you know, coming out here, and I've already booked stuff coming back that total over 20 grand. But I mean, I'm putting a whole lot of, I'm doing like $500 of diesel a day. So it's almost doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter that I made $20,000 if I spend, you know, $5,000 on diesel, or almost $5,000. So, but anyway, we'll talk about that later once the numbers get all added up. This skid steer, 9,000 pounds, 11 feet of deck space. I was joking, I was laughing, because I was like, shit, I got a whole bunch of more space for a whole other load. No, I don't. I mean, I do. I got like 5 feet, but I wasn't going to look on the load board anymore. But anyways, the skid steer is just, you know, picked it up at a John Deere, dropping it off at I think it's a Martin Equipment or something like that. And they said their broker told me I couldn't deliver on Saturday. I called the receiver. They're open between 8 and noon. And I was like, please, can I take it off? I'll drive it off if I have to. I have ramps. It's all good. I got to get it off on Saturday. Yeah, no problem. I told the broker, yeah, okay, I'm going to deliver it on Monday. I'm going to get this sucker off on Saturday, watch. And then we're out of here. So 5,000, 18, and the skid steer is 2,000. The piece that made my run good is this piece in the front. It's the lightest piece. It's the tallest piece. It's the only piece that had the tarp, but you know, if you look at the numbers, 5,000, 1,800, and 2,000, I mean, it's paying more than
that 11 feet of deck space is paying more than the rest of the deck space that I filled. I'm very grateful to have it. We're probably going to double back to this crate, and I'll give you guys some more information about that. Some valuable learning information about this crate. I slept again at the rest area, you guys. Look. There's the 80. I need to find some coffee. Finally through the mountains, and so now I can hopefully just enjoy some flatland driving. Yesterday was kind of tiring. I had a good night in the back of the truck, in the back seat of the truck. I woke up cold, actually. Truck shut off. I woke up cold, and that's what woke me up. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning in Wyoming. Let's go see what we can see for today. It's just so interesting to me, you guys. It's not, well, for me it's not early. I'm somewhere in Iowa off of I-80, and it's 4:30 now. I stopped about 20 minutes ago. I stopped about 20 minutes ago at a Casey's because it was the first spot that I could find for coffee, right? So I just stopped. They got this whole breakfast and lunch area, and I'm like, hey, no breakfast yet? He's like, oh no, not until 5. I'm like, okay, cool. So I get my coffee, right? And then, 20 minutes down the road, I see this Love's with the McDonald's. I'm like, okay, well, I probably should eat breakfast because I didn't have dinner last night. So I'm like, okay, well, McDonald's will be open. McDonald's is not open, you guys. It's interesting to me when you go into a different area, a different part of the country, right? Because in California, like, everything's always open. Like, you can get whatever you want at any time of day or night, period. That's it. And McDonald's is closed until 5 or 6 in the morning. Even at Love's in Iowa, it's a trip to me. Not complaining, it's just really interesting to me because I come from a part of the country that, like, never stops. So when I come to a different area and it's just so much, it's a slower pace and it's different stuff going on, it's very interesting to me. I made it to my first drop. Supposed to be dropping off the skid steer. I got everything ready and I was like, okay, I'm ready for you. And the guy's like, well, I don't know, I'm just the parts manager. Like, can you roll it off? I'm like, shit. So hopefully it starts. And I didn't get a tutorial at Origin because pretty much everybody just rolls it off. But I'm gonna have to take a look at these sticks, these joysticks and stuff, and see if I can figure it out. You guys are not going to believe this. So I booked a Toyota RAV4, right? I mean, right now is not the time to be leaving any open deck space on your trailer. Like, as soon as I get one off, I'm trying to find something to put right back in its place because the costs are just too high right now to run with open deck space. Anyways, so I'm in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Okay, I'm dropping off the skid steer right here at John Deere Martin Equipment, and I plug in the next address because I booked a Toyota RAV4. Okay, going with me farther east. It's going to drop off in Illinois, and then I'm going to pop over to Indiana to do my next drop, right? So I plug in the next address, you guys, in the GPS. It's hard to see because the sun is bright. Literally, my Toyota RAV4 is coming out of that apartment complex. Literally across the street. So I go back inside. I'm like, hey, Terry, do you mind if I park here really quick and go pick up my next load? It's literally across the street. He's like, no, that's fine. So what can I say, you guys? I have the best dispatcher ever. I mean, she's just incredible. She's amazing. To give me a load 0.3 miles from the one I just dropped off. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Let's go pick it up. Freaking trash car, trash place. Thank God it was like 10 miles out of my way and that's it, but it's done. I made it here with like 25 minutes to spare. Delivered, all done. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I'm so excited to get this crate off of my trailer. This crate is dropping off this morning. Last of my pieces, last of the Mohegans. That's my little $5,000 bill I get to get rid of today and invoice it today. And then we'll take a look at the miles after they pull this off of the trailer. We'll take a look at the miles, all miles. It's going to be all miles. Then I'm going to head about 80 miles down the road and I'm going to pick up my very first oversized load. Stay tuned for that in the next video. Alright, there's my crate. See that? Just dropped it off. Now let's look at the miles. Come on, focus. There you go. That is all miles from the time I dropped off the last truck in Bend, Oregon, to picking up that crate that we just unloaded, to the van, dropping off the van, picking up my other two partials, dropping off the skid steer, picking up that trashed Toyota RAV4, and now to my last delivery. In total, we're talking about $9,375 for 3,035 all miles. But that crate was a bit of a wind block, you guys, and I hit a bunch of wind through Wyoming and stuff like that that kind of affected my MPG. So you see the total there is 8.8. It's probably a little bit less. So I did run through a sufficient amount of diesel. Don't think, oh, almost $10,000 in exactly 1 week. No, probably, I don't know, maybe 3,000 went to diesel because it's so high right now. I don't know, I have to total that out, but no time, gotta go. We're gonna go pick up our first oversized load.